Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and we are back with we're back with more reactions, but here for the first time with a reaction for a new show, a Netflix series, a lovely Netflix original series, called Heartstopper. Some of you might have heard of it. It just recently got released, and it's been hyped up quite a bit, and it's been garnering quite a bit of buzz online, in and out of Netflix and everything. And I think people have really been kind of talking this up and really hyping this up to be something really great. And I think it's a adaptation from graphic novel to an actual streaming series and everything. And from what I've heard, in terms of being an adaptation too, I think because the author themselves is actually really she's actually really heavily incorporated into this, and actually really involved more so than how with like most adaptations are, I think. And because of that, it's actually being kind of lauded as like an actual, like a really good and really authentic and really accurate kind of adaptation of the graphic novel to a streaming series. So I think I'm really curious to actually see how that might work out. I think, if I think if I enjoy this enough, then chances are I'll have no choice but to add it onto the backlog of books I already have to read and get through. Both in time for adaptations and also just whenever I get the chance to actually get them and read them and everything. So it's just gonna go on the backlog. It's just gonna go on the backlog of things. Oh, I have to read this along with everything else. So I've got Percy Jackson to get through. I've got the Shadow and Bone series to get through. Just like other stuff that isn't really coming to mind right now because those are the closest adaptations I can really think of. But yeah, I'll probably have to check these graphic novels out at some point too. So that would be fun. But yeah, it is based on a graphic novel series, and it's a lovely kind of queer, kind of teen drama rom com type series too. So I figured it'd be worth checking out. I think I did catch the trailer back when it first. I think the trailer was released like literally like a few weeks ago. Like I think pretty much close to its release. I think that was the first I'd heard of it at all. I didn't really, because I think a lot of the time Netflix does announce when they're doing a series, like kind of way in advance and everything. But I think I hadn't even heard of Heartstopper until the actual trailer came out, and then I checked it out. I was like, oh, this seems fun and cute and wholesome and everything. So I actually might check it out. I didn't know back then if I was going to do a reaction to this, but then it came out, and people have really been hyping it up. So I thought it might be fun. It's very different to what I usually do on the channel, and it's also just like, I think it's like a series that's definitely kind of worth exploring, and a story worth exploring, and a story worth kind of investing in and delving into. So hopefully we can all enjoy it together. And yeah, I think a series like this too is, definitely kind of needed in today's world, and it's definitely kind of, I think it'll be kind of good to get into, to explore like these kinds of stories and these kinds of characters and connect to them and actually see what they're all about and see what they have to offer, in like a storytelling sense, and in like a more kind of, actually, in enjoying it, even like in like a casual way, and actually enjoying it as a series too. So yeah, hopefully we can all enjoy it together. So yeah, and I think this being like an actual queer love story, like a queer romance story as well. I think the only other series, so far, I think the only other series like this that I've kind of delved into, I feel like, I mean, I'm not that far into it, but I think The Haunting of Bly. I think I started Haunting of Bly a fucking ages ago, and I'm only like halfway through. So I think that one is kind of headed down to the kind of headed down the same path with the two of the leads and everything. So really excited to see where that might end up. And I think on from Hulu to Disney Plus. I think they went from Disney Plus to Hulu and then back to Disney Plus to Star again. Love Victor. That's had I think like 2 seasons so far. I think that's been really great. I think I've really enjoyed how that one went. That was a really kind of kind of dramatic and funny and wholesome kind of loving kind of show. And I think season 3 or 4. I think season 3 is on the way, but I think they did make an announcement that I think one of the seasons would actually be the final one. So I think I can't remember if that was meant to be the third season or the fourth season, but I think either one of them is meant to be the last. So I think they're actually bringing that to a close. But I think that one also. I think Love Simon is the only one that's actually based on the book. I think Love Victor was definitely more of the actual original kind of spin off of that story too. I think I'm not sure if Love Victor is actually based on anything else besides from like themes and stuff that were carried on from Love Simon. So it kind of makes sense that they kind of wouldn't drag it out for too long, but then they're still kind of telling like a nice kind of concise story they want with that. And I love that. I love that to bits. The characters in that were just great, and I think the drama, definitely kind of hits hard at times, but the characters are great. It was wholesome as it needed to be, and it was as dramatic as it needed to be. And I think it really told like a great story that you could very easily get into. So I love that. So I can't wait to see what Heartstopper actually has to offer, and how much that can really give us as a show and as a story and as just like a nice thing to enjoy in like a time of, you know, utter kind of, you know, grimness and darkness and everything. So yeah, hopefully we can enjoy it together. Hopefully, I think this being like a Netflix thing too. I think it's going to be, you know, it's meant to be, and it's going to be super easy to binge. I think it's like fairly short episodes too, like 20 to 30 minutes. I think can get through them fairly like reasonably quickly, and hopefully get them up on time. Do just kind of all in kind of one kind of set and everything. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try and actually like have all of these recorded before I start posting them, so that way I can actually get them out in like a neat kind of concise kind of time span and all in one go and everything. So here's hoping. So yeah, but I'm really curious to see what this has to offer, and I'm hoping we can enjoy the show together. And any thoughts you guys have on the story, or if you guys have actually read the graphic novels, and if you have any thoughts on those, then feel free to share those. Any kind of, I mean, should I say spoiler? Because I think if I'm going to this, and this is a really close adaptation, I think pretty much everything I see in this will more or less not actually connect to the graphic novel. So I guess you just you know, whatever floats your boat, whatever thoughts float your boat, you know, just let them loose in the comments and let me know what you think and what you're looking forward to and everything, and how you feel about this show, and if you think it should get if you think it should get a season 2 as well, because I think we know Netflix loves to cancel shows before they go into a season 2, or even, God forbid, a third. You know, Netflix definitely does, like, you know, season 1, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're just not doing the show anymore, so, you know, have fun rewatching your season 1, you know, a billion times before even that gets taken off. So yeah, anyway, so yeah, I think it being like a Netflix thing, I think that might be the one thing I'm kind of concerned about. Like, maybe it's like, you know, oh, they kind of pull it down before it's like a season 2 can be possible, because I think the graphic novel series actually is like a series too. I think it has like multiple volumes to it, so, you know, I think I can only imagine that the author actually wants to adapt all of them. I think I'm glad. I don't know if like this one season is based off of the first volume, and then the rest of them would follow other kind of multiple volumes and multiple seasons. But, you know, I think naturally you'd want to adapt them all into something great. So I guess we'll see. I guess we shall wait and see. But yeah, Heartstopper. So yeah, I think let's just, you know, let's jump into this and see what it's all about. So yeah, let's go. Oh yes, a high school teen drama as well. I mean, teen drama high school would be implied and everything. Yeah, how dramatic is this gonna be? So this is just gonna like give off like flashbacks and everything. Ugh, the math department. Ugh. No offense to any math lovers out there, just, you know, really not my thing. Really not my thing.
Don't forget there'll now be students from all school years in your new form groups.
Students from all years in one form group, is that a thing?
You're over there, next to Nicholas Nelson. He's in year 11, so only 1 year older.
Oh yeah, I think from the trailer he's the jock, right?
I'm sure
He's the
you'll
jock.
get along swimmingly.
Yeah, I think I remember from the trailer he's like, I think he plays like football or rugby or something. As he's the, you know, he's the clear kind of sports kid. Hi. And just like that, he was similar. I mean, let's be real, like that probably is how it's gonna happen. Just, you know, all it takes is one word, and then, yeah, meet. Yeah, they met and they fell, just like that.
I miss your face so much.
So are they current partners? Are they...
My whole family was around on Christmas Day, and then
I guess they must be.
Okay.
Still don't tell anyone about this.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Hate to say it, but it makes sense. Hate to say it, but I guess it makes sense. Yeah.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, again with the highs. Oh.
Hi. Hi.
Oh. That's the magic word. That's their word. Just hi. Yeah. Wait, how much time is passing between these highs? Is this like once a day, or is this like in the same day?
Maths. Same.
Oh my God, have mercy on
You're
me.
literally doing your homework or walking through.
I might be. Then I won't learn.
But if you're stuck, I can just... Oh. How dare you?
Oh, a pen mark. Oh, he's finishing it. Oh, a smiley
Better?
face. Oh, damn.
Hi.
Why are you talking to me? I don't even know who you are.
Oh, God. No, hi is your
Hi.
thing.
Obviously, it's better that she's at an all-girls school now. You know, Mr. Reed was still refusing to call her out.
Yeah, Mr. Reed's a massive transphobe.
It's still weird.
Fuck
though.
Mr.
There
Reed.
used to be 4 of us. And
Be
now there's
better
only
than
3.
Mr. Reed.
4 is a group. The one that looks like a golden retriever.
He doesn't look like a golden
That's
retriever.
good. You know, you kind of see it. You kind of see
It's the Rugby King Nick Nelson. Like,
Oh,
we
Rugby
talk about it
King.
more,
We talked.
Charlie, you don't have a tissue, do you?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Explode.
Oh, God.
coming off. You're gonna be blue forever.
It looks like I'm wearing blue gloves.
You
God.
can make it the new school fashion.
It's like he swapped hands with the Smurf.
I bet he's a whole different person when he's with his bro dude friends.
With the dude bros. Yeah, with the homies. Oh, God. Oh, okay. Is she doing okay at Higgs? Is she making friends and having a good time? No, our soul's at Higgs, right? Oh, no, but she's all on her own at the table. Fuck. I guess give it time. Well, it depends on how long she's actually already been there.
Is that a phone now?
You can't have your phone at break? Well, I guess in a school like this, you just, yeah.
We don't make exceptions, even for new students.
Ah.
You can have us back from reception at the end of the day.
Actually, yeah, that was pretty much, yeah, yeah, sounds accurate. Yeah, I think in high school, like until you get to college, it's like that much less freedom with your own personal belongings. Yeah. Oh, she's drinking apple juice too. Oh, she's still got it though. She's still got her drink. Yeah. Okay. Wait, is Charlie out though? Is Charlie out at school? Like, do people know? Like, no one knows about the relationship, but then do people know about him? Because I feel like the main issue would then be that him and Ben are in very, very different places in their own lives.
I'm not hiding.
Then what are you doing?
Eating lunch.
So everything's okay?
Oh, the teacher's got a
There's
cool
no
little
bullies, I
pin.
need to-
Okay, so this is the perfect place for him to actually have lunch in like a calm manner then.
Well, have you talked to him about how that makes you feel?
No.
Maybe you should talk to him then? What do you want me to say? Break up with him?
Don't know.
Do you want to break up with him?
I don't know.
Well, I can't solve your problems for you, Charlie. It's better to be honest about your feelings in the long run.
I hate being honest.
I know. It took you 3 months to tell me you were being bullied.
Oh, he has a girlfriend as well? I mean, that's the, you know, clearly the relationship he's actually comfortable having in public. Perfectly valid feelings. Yeah, that's more fair. It's over, Ben. It's done. It was a good run, or a decent run, but yeah, not anymore.
Morning.
Jesus, Tori.
Oh, he has a
Why's your face
sister.
like that?
Oh, Tori. Hi.
Broke up with my boyfriend.
Was he a knob?
A little bit.
Well done then.
We love a supportive sister who understands that he deserves better.
One who doesn't mind people seeing us talk to each other would be nice.
Someone who's also a nerd, or do you want like an opposite sex?
I don't think I can afford to be that specific, to be honest.
Who wouldn't love a nerdy partner? Is he gonna see Nick first thing? Yeah, there he is. Mr. Rugby King Nicholas Nelson.
We've been doing this all time and no one's beating Charlie's time yet, cut!
Oh, Charlie's the fastest. Damn, go Charlie. That's your guy right there. Equally athletic, yeah. Why are the lockers so tiny? Is that a thing? Is it only in America you have the really long lockers you can fit next to anything into?
Yeah. I wanted to tell you that I'm gay too. And I'm in love with you.
Oh gosh.
Do you want to go out with me?
Oh, his little daydream.
I want to be with you forever. Do you want to join the rugby team?
Oh, damn.
We have enough players for the team. Yeah, I saw you run in PE and you're like...
To join as a
really
reserve,
fast.
just, yeah.
So, I thought you might be interested.
I'm sure he's a nice guy, but we actually want to be decent. Does he even like sports? Everyone knows he's gay.
You were saying?
Hi.
You want to keep going?
Come on, I bet you can do it.
Whatever you do, don't trip. Don't trip on your own feet. Don't trip. Oh, he tackled him. Okay.
That was perfect.
Yeah, that was decent. That was fucking decent.
Now, let's try again while I'm...
Oh. I mean, he's pretty tall. He should catch a ball, right? He's pretty tall. He's fairly tall. Oh, and he's in the circle. You know, he is. Yeah. Again, practice makes perfect. Yeah. There's lots of angry texting. Yeah. Or is Nicholas gonna follow? Is he gonna follow? Is he gonna see them? Is he gonna see them together?
You're wearing a coat. It's not even cold.
It's February.
Lame.
Yeah, February's cold as fuck.
What do you want, Ben?
Don't be angry at me for not wanting to come out yet.
I'm not angry about that. If you're figuring stuff out, fine. Take your time. Don't you think I, of all people, would understand if you're figuring out your sexuality?
Then why are you angry at me?
I'm angry because you never even slightly cared about my feelings. We'll never meet up when you want to, where you want to, when you feel like kissing a boy.
Well, it's not like anyone else is going to want to go out with you, is it?
Oh, harsh. That's harsh.
Charlie, look, I like you, but I'm figuring stuff out. Literally, what more do you want from me?
Whoa! Oh, Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas.
I told you to stop.
Oh, damn. He followed and he saw.
Go on. Piss off.
Oh, shit.
Did you hear all of that?
Most of it.
Enough.
I just kind of like something was up while we were getting changed, so I wanted to check everything was okay.
Sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry about.
Sorry.
You say sorry a lot.
Yeah. That's relatable.
Don't say it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry for saying sorry.
We'll get locked in if we stay here much longer.
Oh, wouldn't that be terrible? Both of you getting locked in, you know, having some time to spend with each other, having a conversation for once. You know, something beyond just hi. Isn't that how fanfics start? Just getting locked in? You know, isn't that like a trope? It would just be like a fanfic come to life.
Good practice, Nikki.
Who is that? That's the mum, right? That's his mother. Who was it? I recognised her. Olivia Colman, that's who it is. Oh, it's Olivia Colman. I didn't know she was in this. That's cool.
Okay.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay. Haven't watched much of her recent stuff, though. I think she's been in The Crown and she's been in like a couple of other things. Yeah. Thank you, X. Oh, no, she's his mother. Oh, she's Nicholas's mother. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Oh. Okay, yeah, Alice Oseman. Yeah, the author of the novels. Okay, that was cool. That was fun. That was very fun. So yeah, I mean, that felt like a didn't feel super short, but also didn't feel super long. I think again, it's like 20 to 30 minutes. So you know, it's like a nice kind of consumable kind of runtime. I think everything kind of I think. You know, I think it definitely felt kind of quick paced, but not like fast paced. Like everything flew by super quickly, but it's like it definitely felt like, you know, like not even half an hour had actually really passed by. So I think it seems easy enough to get through in that sense. And it's, I think it is already feeling like it's actually constructed as like a short, easy to consume and really kind of lovable and really kind of like you know, just like an easy to digest kind of story too, and it's actually packing in like lots of different little tidbits and lots of little kind of snippets, and you know, like in terms of how it's edited too, it feels like it's actually kind of packing in more that way, but then the overall kind of story flows along at like a nice kind of smooth kind of pace, and you can enjoy it really easy. I think it definitely kind of falls under that kind of like a bingeable kind of thing. So I can definitely see anyone, not just with especially with the episode runtime too. I think I can definitely see anyone just kind of breezing through all of this in like one morning, like, you know, if they start early enough and everything. So, you know, so yeah, it seems cool in that sense. And even the story too, it kind of started off like a nice enough kind of place. I think it definitely kind of started off with more like a bit more drama than I was expecting. But I guess that's just the kind of tone this is actually going for. The fact that it's like to start off with, everything's not really kind of easy, and it's still kind of like actually putting like a lot of pressure onto Charlie's shoulders, and he's still kind of having to deal with a lot, even after kind of being out, which I think is just kind of the experience like for a lot of different kind of queer people. And it's actually that's just like even after you come out, like you still got to deal with like a lot of other things, like maybe you're not out to everyone, maybe the person you're with isn't out to everyone. I think the fact that they're actually dealing with that too is like a really good and really interesting kind of topic to deal with, because then you queer people will also kind of date like other people who aren't out yet, or aren't like, or are still or are out as not straight or cis, but then they're still kind of figuring out exactly where they fall on the spectrum, and it's like all sorts of different kind of things go on in that sense. I think the fact that they at least kind of started off tackling that kind of story, because I think now, I think with this one episode it was pretty much one and done, and they explored like why it can't work and how they eventually reached that conclusion, even among the characters and everything. But the fact that they actually managed to cover it and actually managed to introduce the story with that kind of setting too is actually really interesting and really cool to actually to see. So yeah, with this one we made I think what probably can be argued as the two leads, because I think for them, I feel like definitely for the most part, I think this story does definitely feel like it's going to revolve around Charlie. Definitely feels like it's going to revolve around Charlie Spring. Him being like the out gay kid at school, him having been out for so long, him having kind of gained that kind of like a reputation for being the out gay kid. Like, I mean, understandably, it's not even like the sole reputation he wants. He doesn't want to be known as the gay kid, but he still kind of is like for different reasons, and he's also going to be known as like that one kind of outlier and everything. But him being the leader, I think this definitely does feel like it's like it starts off as his story, but then I think it definitely like with the inclusion of Nicholas and like his kind of involvement, his newfound involvement in Charlie's life too, and I think especially with the whole premise of it being that like Nick is the boy that Charlie slowly falls in love with, and I think judging from the trailers too, I think Nicholas is actually meant to slowly start to realize himself further down the line too, and actually discover who he is and discover what he is. And yeah, so I think slowly it's going to delve more and more into it being like an actual partnered kind of leadership of the story between them two, and actually finding out like exactly how they blend together, how they kind of how they go together as people, and what more they discover about themselves. And it's going to be like a nice little kind of discovery story in that sense too, and actually kind of like allow us as the audience to actually find out new things about them as they go on too. So yeah, it seems really fun in that sense. But yeah, Charlie, like I mentioned, Charlie Spring. So yeah, I think they don't know how long he's been out for. I think they just mentioned that he is out, and I think they mentioned that I think the previous school year he was actually bullied for like a few months. I think the teacher that he kind of hangs out and has lunch with, the unarguably supportive teacher thanks to the pin and the actual kind of ability to actually hold a conversation with him as a human being too. You don't often get a lot of that with teachers and students, and I think that kind of culture too, I think is kind of I think it's all the more important, like not just for teachers to be educators, but then also to be kind of guiders and like not guidance counselors specifically, but actually people who can offer some guidance and actually offer more than just like a textbook or a curriculum to a student. Like I think it can definitely be important for a lot of different kids to actually be able to trust their teacher in that kind of a way and everything. So within reason, of course, within reason. So yeah, so to actually see, I think that's his art teacher too, and I think it's always the creatives. It's always the creative teachers who are actually, either actually fall under the LGBT spectrum themselves, or they're supportive as heck. It's always the creatives. It's always like art or English or history. I think art, I think those are stories that I kind of hear the most and have connected with the most. Like I think it's either English or art or sometimes history, like either something creative or something in the humanities. So it's like someone in either of those departments is always the one who's going to be supportive, who will listen, and will actually connect to like queer students the most and everything. So it's good to see he can actually talk to his art teacher and actually even not even hide out, of course, but actually have lunch in his art teacher's kind of room and everything. And even the art teacher being even the art teacher knowing Charlie well enough, even especially after Charlie kind of came out to him and actually even told him about the bullying too. I think the teacher mentioned here that actually it took him 3 months to tell someone, and someone being the teacher, that he was actually being bullied by the other kids. So yeah, but then now the fact that like the teacher actually knows Charlie well enough as an actual student and as an actual person to actually know when something's off or when something's going on with him. But then also the fact that he does encourage Charlie to actually do something about it himself. He's like, I can't solve your problems for you. I can't answer your questions for you. You need to figure out what it is you want and then talk to your little boyfriend about like how it's affecting you and what you need changing or like what you need to do from here on out. So it's cool that he actually has like a teacher like that to lean on. So that was cool. That was cool. But yeah, he has friends too. We very briefly met his friends. I think one of them was called Isaac. I think the subtitles actually read out Isaac. I think there was Isaac, and then I think there was Tao. I think the Tao, the kind of kid with the beanie and everything, the one who bought apple juice for him and Elle. And then there's also Elle too, who actually, because she's trans, she actually moved to I think did this one was an all boys school, so then she actually transferred over to an all girls school. And I mean, we didn't see anything particularly bad. I mean, yeah, again, we didn't see anything particularly bad. I think it's equally easy to actually chalk up the kind of lack of people kind of around her on the table too, to actually her literally being just being the new kid at school. I'm hoping the transphobia didn't follow her to what was it called? What the fuck was it called? Higgs. I think was it Higgs or Hugs? I think Higgs, right? I think not Hugs. I think Higgs. Hugs sounds like a teddy bear company. No, Higgs. I think I'm pretty sure it's Higgs. Higgs all girls school. So I'm hoping none of that bullshit followed her over there. They think she can actually have like a smooth transition in all senses and all kind of definitions of the word and everything. And hopefully she can actually have like an easier time there, not having any teachers treating her like shit or actually mistreating her or anything. So yeah, hopefully things will be better for her, and hopefully she has like an easier time. But I think understandably fair, I think she must also be missing her friends too. I think Tao accidentally bought her a drink again too. I think he buys her I think her drink, which is an apple. I mean, they both have apple juice, so I think it could easily be like her drink that he picked up on, or his drink that she picked up on. So who knows? But either way, I think she got her own apple. I think she pretty much got the same apple juice too. I think I don't know how likely it is that you'd actually get the exact same brand of apple juice in all kind of high school vending machines. But either way, I guess for attention to detail and for keeping things that much more similar and authentic between the two of them. She got her drink. She got the exact same drink. And she's kind of texting Tao back and forth too. So that was cool. So I think they're both kind of friends and they're just kind of missing each other and everything. So that's fun. But can't wait to actually. I think we kind of met his friends in like a slightly more kind of brief sense of the word, and even only really because again. This episode focuses on Charlie. I think more so his friends over at his school where he is. So yeah, hopefully down the line we can actually meet Elle and see more of what she's like and what she's getting up to at Higgs, and hopefully see her meeting more friends and making a few girlfriends and actually spending some time with them and just having like an easier time of it compared to, I think, what was his name, like Dr. Reed or something, like Dr. Reed Richards. That would be the Fantastic Four over at Marvel. But no, he is not a transphobe. He's not an arsehole that we know of. I don't know how sketchy he is in the comics or anything, but from what we know, he's not an arsehole, or at least from what I know, he's not an arsehole. But no, I think Mr. Reed. I think it was Mr. Reed, the kind of the teacher at the school that still wouldn't use her name or anything. So we don't like Mr. Reed. We do not like Mr. Reed. We don't support Mr. Reed. We are not like Mr. Reed. We will use proper names and pronouns and everything. So that is how we roll here. But yeah, no. So hopefully she has an easier time of it, and hopefully she can actually still. I'm trusting I'm trusting it's also not that far away either. Would a school like that be that far away, like an all girls school and an all boys school? Like, would they have that much kind of distance between them? Because I'm trusting she didn't like have to move towns as a whole. Like, because then if it did, then I feel like that would be even more kind of anxiety inducing too. Like, she's not just actually moving schools, but she's leaving her friends behind too. Her friends who supported her and her friends who actually did still want to keep in touch with and actually kind of want to check on how she's doing. So I mean, visits can still be a thing. Visits can definitely still be a thing. So hopefully it's not too far or too strenuous in terms of travel, but yeah, hopefully they're doing good. So yeah, I think then there was Isaac and Tao too. I think they just I think they seemed fun and cool and everything. I think Tao especially actually just not really being too confident in Charlie's kind of ability to play rugby with Charlie and with Nicholas and the boys and everything. Especially because the boys that Nicholas were playing with were actually not so nice to Charlie the previous year. So we even heard the banter between them right before he opened the door, like actually questioning whether or not he could play and then blaming any kind of lack of skill on his sexuality and all that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, him looking skinnier and a bit more lanky, it kind of would kind of make sense because then but then even in that case, looks can be deceiving. But then automatically assuming that just because he's gay, he can't play sports of any kind is just a pile of BS. So. Yeah, but then he proved them wrong. I mean, I didn't know. Even despite how fast we saw him on, because then even then, I think the first clue. I think they might have mentioned he can run fast, but then rugby is obviously like contact sports. So then you actively have to like being fast is one thing, but then you actually have to deliver hits and you have to take hits and you have to be able to actively participate in things. So I think running fast is just one thing. So I think they probably did. They might have acknowledged that, but then. Yeah, I think they just kind of worried that he wouldn't be able to keep up with them in every other sense of the word. So, but yeah, so I think, but then yeah, I think even with him having the fastest track time too, like he was the fastest, like the teacher explicitly actually said, like no one's beaten Charlie's time yet. Come on, we have to pick up the pace and everything. So Charlie was already showing off his actual athletic ability too. So that was good at least. But yeah, I think he actively did pick up on stuff a lot quicker than I thought he would. I think his stuff. I actually do really love the editing behind his and Nick's interactions too. Like the interactions between him and Nicholas are so snappy and so kind of, frequent. But then the way they actually edited and pasted together, like the highs. My God, the highs. That one simple greeting between them is the one simple greeting between like that one word between them too. Like Nicholas is actively so warm and welcoming and open with him too. Like he's not like overly friendly or clingy, but then he's still kind of welcoming. He's still like, hey, how you doing, Charlie? How are things? He's actively. Again, not nearly as many words, but he's still actively probably a lot nicer than Charlie would expect him to be. I think because he's also like one of them, like he's a member of the rugby team, and they're kind of known for being the way they are. I think maybe even Charlie kind of might have like secretly had some kind of besides from the crush he had on him. I think he might have secretly kind of thought that maybe there's actually like a meaner kind of more. Like hostile side to him too. Maybe he's not going to be as welcoming, and especially with teenagers too, especially like teenagers in high school too. It's like not that likely you get like as many kind of warm or friendly faces around because they're teenagers and also no one likes high school. So yeah, but no, he was fine. He was fine with him, and he actively invited him to like he was the one who actively called him into play and actively kind of like he saw him and he was admiring him and his skill of course on the track field and. That was what drew him to him and actually, made him seem like, he already has this. So, Nicholas was more than happy to help teach him the rest of it. Like he already has the speed and the stamina and everything. So agility and contact and everything. Now that's easily kind of teachable, and he can easily kind of show him what to do and show him how to do it. So. Yeah, that stuff was cool, but actually like seeing them train, seeing them exchange the highs again. The highs was just so kind of sweet and wholesome to watch, and even like that whole kind of thing with the pen too, like them. Apparently he had like a stick of like inky dynamite as a pen, so I just exploded all over him. I think I've never seen a pen explode to that degree, where your hands turn into a Smurf's hands, and then your shirt is covered in blotches too. I think I've seen pens explode. I think most of the time I've seen pens explode in pockets and bags, like in mostly like people. Very rarely actually have them on them. I think I've never actually seen a pen explode. I think, when a pen explodes, I think it's more just like the actual ink kind of tube inside of it actually kind of leaking out and expanding and everything. I don't think it's actually, exploding like an actual pumpkin bomb, like it was made by Green Goblin or something, just exploding in midair. But still, I've never seen a pen explode to that degree where it actually covers a person in that much ink. That just kind of seems next to like. Extremely unlikely. I don't know exactly how in what ways he was misusing that pen, or even how long he kept it somewhere he shouldn't have. Either way, he did that, and then that was a kind of fun little kind of moment between them. So yeah, and then of course I think the more fun, the more kind of time spent between them was actually in rugby and everything. So that was cool. They got to know each other, and he taught them tricks. I think over time too. I think he even Charlie even acclimates into the team. Like the team actively lets him into the inner circle. He actually gets more comfortable going to the boys. Going to the boys kind of changing room and everything. He actually kind of gets used to being around the actual team, and the team even actually treat him decently. I mean, would have been nice to have that from the get go, and instead of throwing around like false assumptions and everything. But still, again, growth is still. Always kind of appreciable, if is that a word? Appreciative. Appreciated. I can't believe I got appreciated. I went to appreciable, but didn't even remember appreciated. So yeah, growth is always appreciated. In any of the forms it takes. So that was cool. So Yeah, I mean, well, I think, what would be cool, well, I mean, maybe, hopefully, we'll get it down the line, maybe, hopefully, we'll get it down the line, but what would be cool is having those boys that bullied him, most likely for, for his sexuality, like, among other reasons, like, what would be cool is having a scene later on down the line when those boys actually apologize to him and actually, see him as, actually see him for who he is and, be beyond just his sexuality and actually do take the time to apologize to him for how they treated him, especially if they're guys that hang around with Nicholas all the time too, maybe even Nicholas, like, if he finds out, then I don't know if he might try and address it, but I think if just anything, just anything that actually leads to like an actual apology and leads to an actual apology and a moment of growth would be all for the best. I feel like saying that out loud, so thinking about it, it felt nice and everything and idealistic, and then saying it out loud felt optimistic. So like saying it out loud just felt like actually then realizing like, oh, in an ideal world, people. I mean, not that it hasn't happened before. Definitely, people have kind of grown and actually apologized and actually realized the error of their ways and all that kind of stuff, especially in real life. And I think that would definitely be like a much nicer thing to see on screen too, like actually seeing that kind of history being present, but then instead of it being brushed away or it being kind of like forgotten about, like actually seeing it being addressed and being it kind of taken care of and actually seeing it being kind of reconciled over would actually be much nicer than just seeing it kind of being brushed under the rug or anything like that, because then it kind of shows it kind of shows like a much more positive aftermath, like compared to what's actually happened before and everything. So yeah, but actually seeing him acclimate to the actual team and actually being able to keep up with them and being able to perform in the way that he was meant to, and actually kind of actually building him up and actually having Nicholas build him up to be a suitable reserve was good to see. So I think maybe in the next couple of episodes or over the course of the season we might actually see him being a reserve. I think maybe even actually because thing like a reserves, obviously you bring on when a player is actually injured or they can't play anymore for whatever reason. So if a player actually, I mean, rugby is a brutally kind of explicit contact sport, so chances are someone might get injured, and then Charlie being their only reserve, he might just have to go on board. So yeah, but then if him and Nicholas can actually win a match together, like if they can actually win a game together, that would be one hell of a stepping stone for them. That would be a hell of a milestone. So we'll see how it goes. But I think for Nicholas, obviously he admires Charlie, especially on the field, and he admires him, and I think he kind of, this might actually, like, obviously spending time with Charlie might actually get him to start figuring and questioning some stuff out for himself too, so that'll be an interesting journey to watch. But then of course for Charlie, he has a major kind of crush on Nicholas, so this is just going to be us seeing him as that crush expands and grows and actually maybe even actually questions itself in certain areas and everything. So we'll see how stuff goes. We will see how stuff goes. So yeah. And we also know that he also has a super supportive sister, Charlie. Tori is also super supportive. Like I feel like just like the vibes she gave off, like she never really, like, she's like undeniably supportive of Charlie and who he is and who he loves and everything, but she never really believed in the whole Ben thing to begin with. I think the vibes she gave off, she was just like, wow, I was just waiting for this to end and for you to come to your senses and for you to realize you deserve better and everything, and I think obviously Ben isn't like an absolutely terrible guy. Like he's just in like a really confusing place that Charlie very clearly is out of, and he can't really go back there with anyone else again. So they both deserve better. They clearly, like Ben deserves a space to actually figure out on his he deserves a space. I think presumably also on his own to actually figure stuff out and everything. But then Charlie also deserves to actually be with someone who will respect him in public and actually be okay with being seen with him, and actually will be happy more than anything to actually be seen with him and everything. Be like, yeah, this is my boyfriend Charlie and everything. So yeah, maybe one day with Nicholas. Hopefully one day with Nicholas. I think that just has to be the way this is headed. But it's all about the journey. The destination is one thing. The journey, is how you get there. Like until teleport is a thing. I mean, even when teleport is a thing, even when teleportation is a thing, the journey is still how you get, because you still travel through an actual portal. So I think the journey still counts. Anyway, that's that's a whole different thing. So yeah, but she and I think even then their little kind of chat on the bus too, their little kind of talk on the bus kind of showed like she not only is actually actively happy about him finally breaking things off with them, but she's also then all the more kind of happy to actually talk with him and actually kind of help him figure out what he really wants and what he really likes and who his ideal guy is and what he looks for in a guy and everything. And apparently that answer is Nicholas Nelson. I think unsurprisingly that answer is Nicholas Nelson. So Yeah, but we love Tori. We so far we love and stand Tori. Tori is so far great. Like she barely even had like 5 minutes of screen time, and I already love her. She barely had like 5 minutes, and I'm already like, I already want to see more of what she is, what she's got to offer in the show. Tori is already amazing. She's already amazing. So yeah, so she's cool. She's really fun. She's really fun. Yeah. And yeah, fun fact: Nicholas's mother is Olivia Colman. Well, it's not Olivia Colman. She's played by Olivia Colman. Obviously, that's how acting works. But yeah, Olivia Colman is in this. I had genuinely no idea she was gonna be in this. I don't know if she was in the trailer because I saw it once, and I think I saw it once, and I think it came up as like one of those pre-roll ads on YouTube, but with the skip button. So me, it's like like nine times out of 10 I see an ad that I literally could not care less about. So because of that, I instinctively wait for it to end, or even actually keep tapping the countdown until skip comes up. So even with Heartstopper, I actually did that, but then it's like, but then I actually skipped it once I thought, oh, this actually looks really good. Oh, I get skipped already. So then by that time it was too late. I think that's what YouTube does. They most of the time they show you ads you literally could not give two shits about, and then the one time you actually think you actually might end up being interested for one, they offer it to you, and then they give you the skip button as well. So that's just how YouTube is. They give you pointless shit, and then the one thing you actually want, they give you the opportunity to actually move past it. Then I still caught the name in the actual title, and it was at Heartstopper, and I was like, okay, I'll check that out soon. So I did, but I only really saw the trailer once, and it was the day it came out. So yeah, don't remember a lot from it, so I think that kind of does help in going into this like a bit more kind of open to surprises and any other kind of twists they maybe even the trailer might have included. So I think Olivia Colman, if she was in the trailer, I definitely didn't remember it. So I think that was a very nice surprise to see in this. I haven't seen her on a whole lot. I think she's done like a lot of different things. She's had a lot of appearances in a lot of different things. I think the first thing. Maybe the first thing I can remember seeing her in, is when she played Amy's aunt in Doctor Who back in season 5. I think she played Amy's aunt or something. So she played like the human version, and I think she then also played like the kind of Prisoner Zero manifestation version of her too. So she was in that. I think she's just been like in a bunch of like British kind of rom-coms over these. I think maybe in some also some stuff in Hollywood too. I think there is like I think I'm now like remembering other kind of places and like other faces she's had as different characters, but then I think names just really aren't coming to mind. I think she's also I think because the queen that they have in The Crown was also aging like to begin with. I think for the first few seasons I think it was actually Claire Foy, but then because she was aging and they were going down her timeline, they had to actually portray her as older too. So I think then she was I think she might have been replaced by Olivia Colman. So Olivia Colman literally played the queen on The Crown. So I think I haven't watched The Crown like at all. I haven't watched it at all. I think I've heard it's good, but then I've also heard it's pretty kind of selective in its history and also kind of creative with its history too. So I don't know what to think of it, but she was in that. I think, has she been in Marvel? I don't know if she's been in Marvel. I keep thinking she's either been in Marvel or DC. I don't know why. DC and Marvel have both had like some sense of like an influx of actual British actors actually going over to play American characters or even to actually play themselves and everything. David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Chris Pevin, like all the like pretty much all the doctors, all the new Who doctors, except for Jodie. I beg they put her in Marvel. I bet Marvel or DC. I think either one of them, or even both of them, just at different times. I'm begging they actually put. I'm begging they either make Jodie a superhero or they actually put her in a superhero movie. I think just actually having her join one or both of those companies would be good. But I think so far, I think like pretty much all the new Who Doctor Who actors have been in Marvel or DC. I think Christopher and David have both been in Marvel. And I think Matt Smith was in DC in Morbius. And I think Capaldi was in DC, so he was in the Suicide Squad. He was the Thinker, and everything. So yeah, I think John Hurt has. I think I don't think that John Hurt has been in any of them. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But I think just please make Jodie a superhero. Make Jodie Whittaker a superhero for either Marvel or DC. I don't know exactly who she could play, but I don't know. I don't know who she could play. I've heard some people kind of fan casting her for Star Wars, maybe like a Disney Plus kind of Star Wars kind of thing. But yeah, make her a superhero. Make Jodie Whittaker a superhero, please. So yeah, but Olivia Colman too. I think she's been a bunch of stuff. I think she just kind of she definitely seems like one of those actors who can undeniably handle larger more denser, more tense, and like more dramatic kind of roles too. I think she definitely does seem like one of those actors who can actually handle larger roles and larger scales and larger projects and everything. But then I think she also, from time to time, does kind of enjoy smaller, more indie stuff, and just kind of just enjoys her job enough to really kind of have a crack at almost anything. So I think having her in this too is going to be really interesting, seeing how she rolls in this and what she's gonna be like in this. So yeah, Olivia Colman is Nicholas Nelson's mother. So there's no reason for him to be a bad kid. There's no reason for him to be a bad son if Olivia Colman is playing his mother. So 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 yeah. And yeah, there was Ben Hope. The drama and the tension and the secrecy with Ben Hope, the discretion, the secrecy of Ben Hope, the discretion of Ben Hope. I don't know why I'm trying to come up with a cool name for that. That was just drama. It was just unnecessary. It was not unnecessary, but I think it was just drama and angst and everything. I don't know why I'm trying to come up with a cool, kind of name for that. But no, there was Ben Hope. The secret boyfriend that Charlie had, and a secret for him, or a secret for both of them. But then it wouldn't have been like a surprising secret for Charlie. Like, oh, the gay guy has a boyfriend. Who could have possibly seen that coming? Who on earth would have expected that? But no, just like no, just even saying that out loud just sounds like saying it out loud sounds like something you'd get on like an Onion article or like a satire kind of link, like on a satire thing like the Onion is the only kind of satirical news kind of site I know, but it sounds like the headline of an Onion article, like, oh, breaking news, the gay guy has a boyfriend. The gay guy is in like a relationship now would be more surprised me. The gay guy has a boyfriend. Who could have possibly seen this shocker coming? Just no. But no, it would have been more of a secret for Ben, because again also because Ben kind of not only had a girlfriend that he was in like a very public and very visible relationship with, but he also, because the number was not out yet, he was figuring himself out. I think admittedly, right, I do kind of like that they kind of, I don't think they really went so far as to vilify him. I just think they just made it like a clear kind of, they just made it clear, and they just made it kind of very clear to the audience that him not being out is one of the reasons why, like, it is pretty much the main reason why him and Charlie should not be in a relationship right now. Or possibly, I think there's no guarantee that like Charlie will still be single or even actually ready or compatible with him even once he is out. I think that they can also, just because they're gay, and even once they're both readily out, doesn't mean they're gonna mesh like two peas in a pod. Gay people can be very different from each other. So because of that, I think they just made it clear that I think as people, I think as people too, I think that they also just didn't really kind of, they weren't shown to have any sense of compatibility. Like it was clear that the only kind of actual relationship between them was literally just them kind of meeting up in secret to make out and everything. And even then, like that was pretty much just kind of Ben taking time to maybe experiment, but also just kind of figure himself out and actually kind of figure out what his sexuality is, if he's gay, if he's bi, if he's pan, whatever. And he was using Charlie for that too. He was using the out gay kid for that. But then of course him not being out and him still kind of feeling like the stigmas of that too. And I think he just kind of definitely didn't really want that getting out and everything. So yeah, but I think they definitely made it clear that I think that was the issue. Like Ben himself may not be may not be, and also just pretty much isn't like the worst guy in the world for that. Like he's clearly figuring himself out. And that's a really kind of long, enduring, and often traumatizing journey for anyone to go through. But then because of that, they're not in the right place for each other. They really shouldn't be together, because it's just not the right relationship for either of them to be in, and it's like a very a very exhausting thing for the both of them too. Like they both have to keep meeting up in secret and making sure no one follows them and making sure none of this, that, or the other happens. And then Charlie's exhausted because he's already out. He doesn't really care. He already see he tries not to care what people think about him and how people judge him and everything. Like he's just kind of ready to actually have a boyfriend and actually meet someone who appreciates him and loves him for him. But Ben, on the other hand, he's still figuring out what he is and how he is and all that kind of stuff. Especially like the way he treats Charlie too. I feel like Charlie might have been the only one who really kind of saw him as like a boyfriend too. I think Ben also. I feel like Ben really just saw him as as just like a way to kind of figure out his sexuality. I think he definitely kind of seemed like more pissed at the fact that Charlie was no longer willing to actually help him do this because he wanted something more and he deserved more. But then, like, I think he definitely kind of paid acknowledgement to the fact that, like, oh, don't worry, no one's gonna, like, we're not gonna get caught, no one's gonna see you, no one's gonna see me, all this, that, and the other, and everything. But then, yeah, even him kind of playing that kind of, like, the card of, like, Charlie probably being the only gay kid in school too, like, oh, it's not like anyone else is experimenting or questioning or anything. It's not like anyone else is gonna go out with you because no one else at the school is gay. So, apparently, like, Ben's his only hope and everything. So that kind of stuff was just kind of harsh to watch and everything. But then, yeah, I think it definitely was kind of displayed as this kind of downward spiral of, like, it's cute to look at first, and I think it's definitely like a chance for kind of Charlie to actually try things with like another boy, even if it isn't under the best of circumstances or anything. But still, the more I think the definitely the longer it went on, and also of course combined with the actual legitimate kind of crush he was forming on on Nicholas too, I think it definitely just kind of showed that he wants and deserves more, and I think he also kind of knows deep down that this really isn't like a relationship. It's not really what he was hoping to be, what he was hoping it would be. It's just like a chance of Ben to kind of figure himself out and then kind of use Charlie for that in the process and everything. So, people can and will experiment. People will kind of see what they're into, who they're into, and actually see if they fall under any kind of label, see what kind of label they do fall under, and see where on the spectrum they do fall and everything. So I think that's the kind of stuff. It's perfectly fine. It's called actually having your journey to coming out and realizing who you are and everything. But I think I think they definitely kind of did make it clear that Charlie doesn't just want to be like an experiment with someone. He doesn't want, I think even he mentioned, like, he of all people would know exactly what it's like to take the time and have to spend the time to figure out who you are, and actually spend the time like figuring out how you want to present yourself to people and how you want to describe yourself and all that other kind of jazz. So like he even mentioned, like, like he of all people would know what that's like. But then I think he's also kind of he's also definitely in the position where it's like, he got off that boat. He took the questioning boat, and then he actually got off that boat too. He's not fresh off the boat. He's been out for enough time that the whole school knows now, and it's like a known thing, and it's like he's be like known, and he's actively comfortable with who he is. Like, besides from the hardships that may come with it, I think that's just like a kind of problem with society as well. It's not a problem with who he is, it's just a problem with how society has conditioned people to see him. So because of that, like, he's fine with who he is, and he's fine with actually actively looking for like a boyfriend to be with, and looking for like a boyfriend to actually like kind of spend his teens with, at least, even if it's not a lifelong thing. But most of all, he's just kind of ready to move on. He's ready to actually, now he's figured himself out, he knows who he is, he's ready to fully head first kind of approach that kind of field in a headstrong kind of way. But Ben very much isn't. That I think that is just kind of the main focus of the story, like within this episode. Like, there are two very different places in their kind of respective journeys and everything, and they've both got to respect that too. So yeah, the thing about that, I think what clearly kind of hurt like Charlie more was the fact that I think that he had to actually kind of like find out in that way that not only is Ben Hope closeted and questioning, but he also does have a girlfriend. I think that kind of does. I mean, that also kind of does seem fair too, because I think especially if you're already in like a relationship too, then it's really that much harder to come out to. Like, you don't know if your partner will accept it or what's gonna happen there. You don't know like who will accept it. You don't know how it's gonna look, and you don't know how bad that kind of love will be. So at the same time, it's like, like actually kind of like coming to that conclusion needs to happen on his own time, in his own terms too. And I think Charlie definitely feels like he needs to actually move on and actually try and do something more official, and actually chase something that's more likely and more kind of like has a bit more hope behind it. So yeah, I think in my eyes, I think that this episode didn't necessarily kind of vilify Ben. Besides from Ben kind of forcing himself on Charlie and actually trying to forcefully make it look like that was just kind of iffy all over. But I think besides from that kind of stuff, I think they definitely kind of did kind of make clear that he's still figuring his own stuff out, and he's still trying to find out what kind of matches and what fits and everything. But yeah, other than that, it's just going to be a story about, hopefully Charlie finds love, and hopefully this love sticks, and hopefully it's actually love that works out and everything. So yeah, I mean, I am kind of trusting with that ending too, that things are officially kind of over between Ben and Charlie. I think that seemed like that. I mean, it seemed to me like a very, very definitive ending too. I think Charlie made his feelings clear, Ben couldn't deal with that, and then Nicholas just kind of sprang to the rescue. I knew from the moment we saw him leaving just after not only leaving just after Charlie, but then also actually seeing Charlie walk off to the other. I think he had that really kind of super concerned look on his face, and he even said, you know, you didn't really kind of see him all that kind of, or like you didn't see him how you usually were in the changing rooms. I think he was already concerned from the get go. So then he decided to follow him and see what was wrong and see what was going on, and then he heard most of it. I think he did kind of like I think he probably either walked in on. I think if he heard most of it, then he probably kind of did hear it coming down the hallway, or probably did kind of actually kind of wait to see what would happen, and then by the time it got more aggressive and more, you know, like the way it did, then he actually did kind of decide to intervene and stop things from becoming worse. So yeah, but he heard most of it. And I think, again, school knows that Charlie's case. I think it's probably literally no surprise to Nicholas whatsoever. But then he still kind of did feel to, you know, he was able to identify the, you know, like he was still able to identify that Charlie was still in like an uncomfortable situation. He needed helping, he needed saving and everything. So he came and he saved and everything. So that was cool. But yeah, I think he heard most of this. I think maybe he now knows that like that Ben is at the very least kind of questioning too. So I think I mean, I trust Nicholas is also like really not the kind of guy to spread rumors or to do any kind of bullshit like that. So I'm trusting he's going to be as friendly as I mean, he's going to, you know, probably warn him like to stay away from Charlie. I think that would be like a much better thing too. Like the next time he sees him, he like warns him like, you know, you stay away from Charlie and you leave him alone from now on and stuff. But other than that, I think, I think besides from that, I think probably going to spend more time with Charlie. He's probably going to spend more time with Charlie. I think he probably might not even pay any attention to Ben whatsoever. I think he actually actively might spend more time with Charlie and actually get to know him a bit better. And then that's when stuff starts happening. That's when conversations start happening. That's when, you know, time starts being spent and they actually start to grow together a bit more. And that's when the story really starts to really kick off and pick up and everything. So yeah, it seems like a really fun introduction. That's pretty much, I think for me that's pretty much what it is. It just seems like a really fun introduction. It introduces some key players and some really kind of simple kind of story stuff to start off with, and then now we get more to look forward to. So I think I definitely kind of want to see where things actually go on from here and how they continue the story, who else they show, and what else is going on with the characters around Charlie, like the other people in his life too, like his friends and his family and everything. I actually hopefully meeting Charlie's family, seeing what his parents are like, if they're still around. I mean, I'm trusting he's not like an orphan or anything, but you know, even if it was, I think that would be a problem. I mean, I'm trusting he still has his parents around, like, or at least maybe if he's only with his dad or only with his mum. I guess we'll see who he's with. We'll see who's in his family, who's actually around. I think he has a sister, we know that much, so you know, we met his sister, can't wait to see more of Tori, but then, of course, actually meeting the parent or parents and seeing what they're like and everything. Maybe if we actually get some backstory on Charlie too, actually finding out exactly, like, how hard it was coming out, like, for him to come out to his friends and his family and everything, actually seeing what that journey was like, you know. Like how he realized. I think with these kinds of stories too, with stories with queer characters and also like queer centric kind of storylines too. I think it's always kind of fascinating to see exactly like what that journey was like. Because like there's so many different journeys, but then all those journeys resonate with someone. Like for some people, it's really quick and easy to find out who they are, and for other people, it's like a really long and exhausting kind of timeline of events that take place and everything. So I think no matter what, I think that is also like the beauty of these kind of stories too. Like no matter what his journey was like, from questioning to realization to acceptance to coming out, like, you know, it's a journey. You know, even if it doesn't resonate with me or you personally, it's definitely gonna be something that resonates with. It's definitely gonna be something that resonates with someone out there, and it's definitely gonna be. I think, you know, I mean, it can be similar to a lot of different ones, and for other people, it can be like, oh wait, that's exactly how I figured out what I am and everything. So really curious to actually know if they'll actually offer up any kind of backstory in that sense and actually going to show us how he figured out, or maybe if he actually kind of explains it to Nicholas or someone else or something. So it'll be cool to see where things go from here. So yeah, again, super fun episode, very super fun first episode. I can't wait to see, really looking forward to seeing what the future of the show is like and everything. So yeah, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be really kind of cool to get through. So yeah, that is my official kind of reaction for the first episode of Heartstopper. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the show too. If you did, then let me know. And of course, any kind of spoilers for future episode, obviously don't include them. Keep comments nice and spoiler free and everything. But I do hope we can enjoy this season together. Hopefully we can actually enjoy this series together as, you know, as a community and everything, and as just like an audience of like-minded kind people and everything. So obviously I think the kind of like first show of its kind that I've kind of explored on the channel. But I think stories like these, I always love getting into them, because I think nine times out of 10 they are wholesome and loving, and when I think I prefer these ones as opposed to the ones that kind of extensively show off like queer phobia and everything, and just like all the kind of hate stuff that goes on. Like, you know, I think we already know that kind of stuff happens. So I much rather enjoy like stories of couples getting together, people discovering who they are, and actually like stories where people blossom and happiness occurs, and you know, like wholesome stories and lovely stories and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, who knows, I think maybe this could actually open up the gates to me watching more of these kinds of shows on the channel too. So yeah, just, you know, like a bit more variety to the channel, which is never a bad thing. So yeah, that was Heartstopper season 1, episode number 1. So thank you guys as always so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment on what you thought of the episode and what you're looking forward to in the coming episodes, and then what you thought of the story too. If you have any thoughts on the graphic novel too, like how kind of well of an adaptation you think it is, and what you're looking forward to in the future, and if you're really kind of really gearing up and really ready and really kind of hoping for a season 2 and maybe 3 or more, what your thoughts on that are and everything. So yeah, that and then yeah, I think for those interested, the full-length reaction will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. That would be cool too. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So until the next time, bye bye for now.